Hey guys, so today I'm just going to do a little quick makeup all while telling you all about the incident that just happened with us at the store. So I'm gonna start off with saying kidnapping children is real. Sex trafficking, sex traffickers are all around you. To start off, I'm just going to say that we walked in minding our own business, and I know some people may be like, oh my god, goodness, you know, you're over exaggerating, and I am not, okay? Because I know how stuff is. I know stuff is real. I know you during this time should not be accusing people. So I'm just gonna go on with the story and tell you all what happened. So the lady, well, first of all, it was me, my children, well, basically it was my family and his mother and nephew. So we all went to the store to pick up, honestly, some cleaning stuff for our house, and she wanted to buy the kids some toys. So we walk past the hand sanitizers, and his mother walks up to like this cleaning stuff, these pods, you know, to clean the clothes with. And you know how normally when you're, you know, somewhere like in Walmart and someone just walks past you, or you know, someone they're not in your personal space, but they're just a little bit too close, but it's, you know, it's normal stuff. You don't think like, oh, you know, they're trying to take my children and stuff like that, right? So this lady was about, I say, you know, if you have a boyfriend or husband or whatever, or significant other, and you know how a child is with their mother in the store, how they're like really cling on to them like in their personal space. That's exactly how the lady was in his mom's personal space. And so I'm just looking at him, and you know, I just have to sign him like, you know, hey, make sure you see exactly what I'm seeing. And so that was the first thing. So I'm just looking at her because I'm just like, is she like, does she not know that she's in her personal space right now? So his mother's just ignoring it. And remind you, she has my daughter in her hand, and she hands my daughter off to the nephew. And so the lady went from, when his mom went off, this was the lady. So I'm thinking his mom probably said something wrong, or said or did something that offended her. And then I noticed that she looks at the nephew that's holding my daughter and just eyeballing him. And then when my boyfriend walks off, she's just staring at my boyfriend. She's like eyeballing. It wasn't like mad like the face that I just made, but she was pretty much like nosy, too invasive. Okay, so that happened. So I'm just like, you know what, I'm not gonna think anything of it, just gonna, you know, calm down, whoop-de-whoop, it is what it is. So we go down another aisle, and I tell him, I'm like, I said it loud enough, I'm like, babe, I think she's a little bit weird. You know, she's all, first of all, that's past personal space. She's all up in it at this point. And so he's like, yeah, I noticed that too, blah, blah, blah. So we said it loud enough to where the lady could be like, you know, oh, let me back off, or oh, let me just avoid them. Tell me why we hit the corner and the lady is literally right there. And at that point, he just walks past her. And at that point, I'm literally looking at her like, what is wrong with you? Like, is there really something wrong with you? Honestly. And so we walk past her, and I tell her again, I'm like, she must be out of her mind. She must be crazy, because no way she thinks this is okay. Like, no way she thinks this is okay. And remind you guys, she's on that aisle looking at nothing. She's doing nothing. Okay, so at this point we're just walking around the store, and she's literally every aisle we're down, she's down. Again, looking at nothing. So I just keep my cool. I'm like, you know, at that point, I'm just like, you know, just keep your cool, because you don't want to act a fool in the store and have people looking at you like you're crazy. So, still minding my business, still doing it, still seeing her on every aisle, kind of getting frustrated. So I'm just like, bro. So the thing that kicked it off was when I said, my gut said, you know what, stay back. Just watch her, just to make sure you're not crazy. So if you do have to do something, you have proof. The cameras see that you saw that she was following and looking at the kids. Remind you, no basket, no bucket, just your purse and a mask. Okay. And you're up in people's personal space. Not shopping, fake looking. So, we needed some detergent things for our dishwasher. So I was looking at those, and again, she was on the same aisle we were on, looking at nothing. So I'm just like, okay, here's my time. So, my boyfriend doesn't notice that I basically stayed behind just so I can watch her. So I'm literally looking at the pads, the pod things for the dishwasher, right? Tell me why I see the lady looking at them, but making it seem like she's not really looking, she's looking at them. So at that point I was like, oh, so this is what we're on? This is what we're on? Okay. And you can tell the difference between when someone, you know, has a disability or something may be wrong versus someone who's obviously trying to do something to kids. And so at that point, I literally looked at her, like I looked at her soul. And the only reason she knew why I was looking at her was because my boyfriend had looked back because he was looking for me. So, I know my head looks dark up here. So she was just looking like, the lady was just in general just looking like froze at me, but she was like, oh, you know, she possibly caught me. So I looked her dead in her soul. And I gave her that look like, you can try this if you want to, but we're definitely not that type of family. But if you want to go there, we can all go there. And no one's going to leave this store if something happens or if my kids are nowhere to be found. So at that point, the lady, you know, walks off. My boyfriend looks back, and that basically showed her like, hey, I know you're looking and I know you're watching at this point. So yeah, back it up and calm down. So this looks a mess up here, but give me a second. So we're going through the store now. She's nowhere to be found at this point, and I was happy because I was like, yeah, so God obviously knew that I don't play any games, and he knew what was gonna go down. So tell me why, again, his mom, now we done went from the cleaning section to the living room section to the toy section. We have kids. Why are you in the toy section now? If you had grandkids and you were going in the toy section, wouldn't you have been over there? Thought so. So she's in the toy section, and she does the thing that sets me off. And at this point, I'm set off, but it set my children's father off, and he never gets upset. The lady had the audacity to reach over her like she was getting something and just stand there and look at us. But his mom had my baby, and the lady was reaching by her, and he was just like, no. His exact words to his mom was like, you need to move, we gotta go, because stuff was gonna get crazy up in there. I can tell you that, because one thing we don't do is play when it comes to our kids, which is most of America. And the fact that she even sat there, and the fact that she even stood there and tried to pull the crap that she tried to pull, just had me in awe. It was a moment to where, and the fact is, the nephew, he's only like in second grade, going to second grade, or like first grade or whatever. And I'm just like, you guys know at that point, kids, when they see toys, they want to go. So I just kept thinking in my head, like, he's gonna go off somewhere with a toy with my baby, and we may not see my daughter again, or we may not see either one of them again, and no one in that store is going to freaking leave. No one in that store is gonna leave. That's all I kept thinking. And so at that point, I was just like, we were all like, no, we gotta go. And so, you know, everybody packed up their stuff. We were ready to go at that point. And by the time we were ready to go, I look over and see the lady standing in a checkout line with a whole man, okay, with nothing in their checkout basket. I know my head looks ashy or something like that, but they literally have nothing. So I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, you have nothing in your basket. Why are you possibly? And that's how I knew at that moment. I was like, I told him, I was like, we made the right decision to leave right now, because stuff could have escalated. Because I was gonna tell her right then and there when I caught her looking, what are you doing? Like, what's the deal? What's the problem? And she was, I honestly don't know what she was gonna say, just because she heard me tell him when we came in the first time. I just know she did. And she still kept doing what she was doing. And I just find it so awkward how both of you are in the store being weird. Like, what? And so we left, and his mom was like, he was like, yeah, you didn't notice that lady? She was like, I noticed her, I seen her. And I'm like, yeah, you obviously did not see the stuff that we saw, because she was getting a little bit out of hand. Like, you know, all I have to say is watch your kids, watch your surroundings. I probably didn't even tell everything in the story just because I'm so shocked. That's what me and him kept telling each other. We were just like, we're shocked that people even have the audacity to be that bold. We were honestly both just shocked. So that's this little story time that happened today, which is Sunday.
Yes, I know that I didn't do the rest of my face. That's because I am going to be wearing a mask.
Probably should have took a picture of her to make other people aware. I don't know, but that right there is cute. Yeah, I probably should have taken a picture to make other parents or other people aware of what had happened. But this is the end of this video. Like I said, be aware, watch your children, keep your children around you. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, Shinies.